everybody, and welcome to Dryer Days Art Studio. I'm Catherine. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, I'm going to do some more Dutch pouring. This is sort of my second try at this technique, and I actually worked on 3 different pieces with the paint that I had on hand. I did one 8x8 board, which is this one right here. The one that you just saw beforehand was a 16 by 20 inch canvas. And then I will do another pour with these same colors on a 12 inch in diameter round board. These two, as you can see here, I finished with a clear coat of resin. I did not finish the 12 inch round yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to put resin on it or not. Here I'm just moving it around, trying to show you the glass-like finish of the resin. These came out really beautifully with that top coat on there, and definitely still playing around with this technique. I haven't mastered it yet, but I kind of think I have my own way of doing it. Just coming in here, making sure my board is level. And there to the right, I mixed up my Titanium White by Liquitex Basics paint with just Floetrol and then spring water to consistency. So as I mentioned in my previous Dutch pour, I am not using my homemade pouring medium with these Dutch pours so far. I have only been using the Floetrol. Part of that, I'll be honest, is a little bit of laziness. And that is silicone right there. And I'm only adding silicone to 2 of the colors. As I was saying, part of it's laziness. I just haven't felt like mixing up my pouring medium, and I have the Floetrol on hand. And I've been happy with the results that I'm getting with it, with these Dutch pours. And there I was just showing you that I am doing this on my painter's pyramids. I talk about my painter's pyramids all the time. I love them. You can find them in my Amazon store. They're just great for a runoff. You just want to make sure you have them placed properly underneath your piece so that they're not going anywhere. You have them right there on the wooden corners if you're doing canvas. If you're using boards that are flat back, you can pretty much put them anywhere, but there you can see I'm pouring paint on. I don't have the painter's pyramids perfectly lined up underneath, so when I'm done moving the white around, I will get that repositioned. You can see the colors that I used up at the top of the screen. I did want to get a really dark, almost midnight blue, almost black, but not black, to give it some depth. And so I did mix up some Winsor Newton Thalio blue with some black from Liquitex Basics, and I didn't want to use too much black paint, so I actually ended up putting in a little bit of the acrylic ink by Basics in there too, and that worked really nicely. It got me a really nice color. It did mute it down a little bit so it wasn't so bright, but that was okay. That was kind of what I wanted. So that is that dark blue color right there that I just was mentioning. And just doing this as a puddle pour in the pattern, or not really pattern, I guess just the sequence in which I want these colors to go in. I wanted it to be darker to lightest. I didn't want that dark color to overpower the piece too much, so that's why I keep adding in that lighter blue. I will say in this piece, the first one that I did of the day, I could have probably made some of these paints a little thinner. It was a little bit thick, and I don't think I added enough white as well around the edge of this, which then, as you know with the Dutch pour, you have to blow it back over. I think this white was a little bit thick too. I think that's the key, is having a nice thin white. Also, what could have been an issue, I've been using this blow dryer and I really like it, but for some reason on it, you can see it's like barely moving. And you know, you really want to get that white to come back over and cover those colored paints. As you can see here, that was not really happening. So I kind of finagle this and move this around the best that I can. And I think it did end up looking pretty. The colors came out nicely. I'm really happy with the lacing and the cells that I got, but yeah, I don't think there was enough paint as far as the white going on here with this one. I do just want to take a second to thank my patrons and my PayPal supporters so much. There have been quite a few of you so far for the month of July, and I will list them here. Thank you to you all so much again. It means the world to me that you would feel that desire to contribute to my channel and my artwork. It helps me out so much, helps me to keep creating content like this for you all. And then it does make them eligible for bonus content, discounts, and other things like that. So if you're interested in supporting my channel, please check out the video description. You can also check out the video description for all of the tools that I'm using here. I have an Amazon store set up with a bunch of my favorite products and tools, and I do list them individually in the description as well if you just want to look for one thing in particular that I use and click on that link. I am an Amazon affiliate, so that helps support my channel as well. I do want to say too, I have a couple big things coming at the end of this week. Laura from Laura's Art Corner will be coming to my house on Saturday along with our friend Debbie, and we're going to be doing a live resin geode pour. I'm so excited about that. So please put it in your calendar, set your alarm, come and check out my channel. I'm thinking probably late morning on Saturday. I have to touch base with the ladies about it, but I'm going to set an event for it too, so if you're subscribed to my channel and hit the bell, you should get a notification that I'm going to be doing a live on Saturday. I will have a couple other announcements coming as well that I'm going to release in a vlog on Sunday, but I will save that for the Sunday vlog. I'll keep you all in suspense. So I've set the other piece aside, as you can see, and I've come in with the 8x8 inch. All of these boards, canvases, have been prepped with gesso, and the back has been taped off with blue painter's tape to help me catch any drips and any mess in the back. And just doing the same here, moving that white all around, getting a nice consistent coat over the entire surface. And I'm going to come in with just about the same pattern of colors, except I am going to do a couple different spots than how I did just the one in the first piece. Does anybody else go for a color and change their mind time and time again like I do? I always kind of make these decisions at the last second, but that's okay. They usually turn out all right. You gotta trust your instinct as an artist, what your gut is telling you, what your heart is telling you, and go with that. Can't go wrong when you do that. And just doing that similar puddle pour, adding the white down before I get the blow dryer out. I will mention too real quick the orange pieces that I did this Dutch pour on the very first time when my sister was visiting. That video, if you hit the lowercase I in the top right hand corner right now, you can see that video. I am publishing some bonus content on that video on my Patreon for my patrons of a certain tier over there. There was a couple things that I wanted to touch on, and so yeah, that content will be over there. Again, this was a little thicker than I would have liked, and I don't think I had quite enough white again. But I'm learning. One would think I would do a little bit more white this time, but I was doing these back to back, and so I was kind of focused more on just doing the paint colors maybe in a different order or in a different layout, and not so much focusing on that white. I don't know if the blow dryer was doing me any favors as well. I did add silicone. I know sometimes people don't add silicone for these Dutch pours, and I am using Floetrol too, so that was really helping aid in getting me some nice cells and some nice lacing. And on this one, I did come in with my straw and do some mouth blowing. That gave some really nice results too. I do end up pulling the bigger piece up again and doing a little bit of blowing with the straw on that larger piece too that I did first. showing I have the back nice and taped off. And I did have a little hole from my router cutting this piece, so I taped that over in the back to catch any paint coming through. Just doing the same exact thing here, getting that base of white down all around the entire surface and around the edges, because this is about a 1/2 inch thick board. And coming in with those paints again. Using the same puddle technique with the colors. This time I think I did a little better with the white. It was a little more heavy-handed pouring it down that time, and I do get a better coverage of the white. As you can see, they're not perfect, but better than the other two. As you know, obviously, in this video here, I was using different surfaces. I do like canvas. You know, you can get them in bulk and they're pretty cheap. But I really like the smooth surface of the boards. I think the paint tends to flow over them a little bit better. Sometimes I like the look of the board finish better. Sometimes I do like that canvas look underneath. It just kind of depends, I guess, on what you're going for. But as far as painting and pouring and moving the paint around, I don't think anything really beats the surface of a wood panel. It's been about 5 days, and these are 100% dry. And I wanted to add just a little bit of detailing, so I had a bunch of different silver markers and silver glitter markers that I had gotten at Michael's. And I just wanted to add a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of accenting in here, and I just did a tiny bit on this piece. I don't end up doing any on the others. I went around the edges here, and I'll do that again on another spot. But just very little, just a little tiny bit to give a little something extra. It just seemed like it needed something. I wanted to show here that I am using a piece of cardboard up underneath. You can see I have it tucked under the wood cradle of the canvas here, and that is to help keep the canvas up because I'm going to resin on top of this, and I don't want my canvas sinking. Using the Painter's Pyramids again. And these are little alcohol wipes that you can find in the description as well as in my Amazon store. I really like them, they're pretty handy. And I'm just cleaning up a little bit of silicone residue that was on the surface of the canvas, since I did use silicone in the paints. What happens is that will rise to the surface and it'll sit on top of your canvas or your boards. And then when you try to resin, it will create pockets, divots in the resin, which we don't want. So trying to get this surface as clean as I possibly can. You could use soap and water too. Sometimes that makes me a little nervous. I don't know why. I've done it before and it's been fine. There's just something about sticking my canvas in some water. I don't know. It just makes me nervous. So I'm just using the alcohol wipes here, but you can use soap and water. There's a ton of videos on YouTube of how you can do that. I'm just not a giant fan of that technique. I am using Stone Coat Art Resin as my clear coat for this piece, and I will also use Faux Rizzle resin on the 8x8 inch square over there. You can find links to both of these resins in the description, and I have a $10 off coupon for Stone Coat down in the description as well if you need some more Stone Coat or you want to try it out. This is the 16 by 20 inch. The resin has cured. You can see some of the silver in there that I added. I'm happy with how these came out. I think I still have a little bit to learn and practice as far as these Dutch pours go, but they're really fun to do. There's some of that silver that I added on. I wanted to show a close-up of that. Really cool abstract piece in this one here. Very happy with how these colors came out too. This is just a nice little accent piece for any room. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Come check out my Facebook group, Dryer Days Art Studio, Resin and Fluid Art Group. I'm also on Instagram at Dryer Days. And again, if you're interested in supporting my channel, please check out the description for my Patreon and PayPal options. Thank you all once again. I hope you can check out our live on Saturday. I'm super excited to have the ladies over and doing that. So until next time, everybody, keep on pouring.